Hello and welcome, everyone. Big shout out to our HHCC members and EDF fellows tuning in. My name is Marianne Delatorre, and I am the Hidden Heroes Caregiver Community Program Coordinator for the Elizabeth Dole Foundation. We are excited that you are able to join us today for this series, the Caregiver Community Connection C3, presented by the Elizabeth Dole Foundation and powered by our partners at Wounded Warrior Project. We're also very pleased to have the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs join us as partners for the series as well. Today's C3, Entrepreneurship 101, we are pleased to feature Dr. Precious Goodson, who is our EDF Fellow Class of 2015, and Stephanie Brown, who is the founder and CEO at the Rosie Network. This C3 episode is part of launching our employment series, leading up to our career fair and convening on October 29th. Before we get started, I want to mention to all attendees that this session is recorded and will be available in the Guides tab on HHCC or on our website. Also, we would love to hear suggestions on future topics to discuss and speakers to feature. If you have any ideas, please send them to us via email at events@elizabethdolefoundation.org. With all of that said, we will take questions towards the end. Today's moderator, Colton Whittaker and Lizelle Rogers-Perez, will be hanging out in the chat box on Zoom and Facebook. Be sure to submit any questions using the Q&A box located in the Zoom control panel or on the comments. We will be taking note of all the questions to get them answered live during our Q&A. Today, we will be selecting 4 winners from our meeting participants during the episode. To enter into the drawing, engage with us in the chat or comments. Today's winners will receive a couple of free special prizes. Today's C3 features also include closed captioning. If you would like to disable it, go to the live transcription button in the control panel and click Disable Auto Transcription. It can be disabled at any time during the meeting. Now, without further ado, please join me in welcoming Precious and Stephanie as we get started. And I just want to say how excited I am because prior to the pandemic, I had thought, oh, I should create a charcuterie business, which is sort of like meat and cheese. So for like adult Lunchables. And so that's something that maybe I'm still thinking about. And after your webinar series, I can, get started on trying to be, my own caregiver entrepreneur. So, investors out there who are listening and watching, I am looking for a business partner. And with, Stephanie and Precious's help, I just know that we will be successful. And so with that, I will lead into both Precious and Stephanie. And Precious, Dr. Goodson, please feel free, to start us off.
Okay, well, just want to say how excited I am to have been invited to join. And I'll just start by saying I started my Goodson Consultants LLC in 2017. I wanted to start a company to do independent contracting in education. And that's what my background is in education. And I wanted to start independent contracting in the area. So I wanted to make an official company. I know I could have done that as a sole. I could have done independent contracting as a sole proprietor, but I wanted to start an official company. So I formed a single member LLC. And although I'm not working on a contract at this time, due to full-time work, I still choose to keep my business license active. That's really important. So now I'm not going to take any more time up. I'm going to lead into the presentation today from Stephanie Brown, who I'm so excited to hear from today. Stephanie is the CEO and the founder of the Rosie Network. I learned of the Rosie Network back in 2016 at an entrepreneurship conference in North Carolina. And then Stephanie and I met personally 4 years later at a networking meeting. And at that meeting, Stephanie was presenting on military spouse entrepreneurship and showing figures and numbers of these astronomical amounts of money that these military spouses were making in their own business. I was just floored. I couldn't believe it. I was just amazed.
Yeah.
At this. So the Rosie Network basically provides entrepreneurship support for small business owners at all stages. You can be a startup or already be established. And so she provides all all this amazing support to the military community. And so I'll let her talk all about what she does. Without further ado, I'm going to just pass the mic on to Stephanie.
Thank you, Precious. Thank you, everyone at EDF. It has been, it is truly an honor and a privilege to be here with you today. I'm going to share what the Rosie Network does. And unless, just in case you don't know who Rosie is Rosie the Riveter, which from World War II. And we all love her "we can do it" attitude. We can do it. And we know military spouses and caregivers can do it. So we embrace that whole mindset. So the Rosie Network, I myself am a military spouse. My late husband served 30 years in the Navy. My father did over 20 years in the Air Force. So I grew up in the military, married into the military, and I've raised kids in the military. So it only stands to reason that my love and my passion is serving the military community. So the Rosie Network is a national nonprofit. We're a 501c3. Next year we celebrate our official 10-year anniversary. So it's very exciting for me. I know, a decade. It's kind of frightening. I had a lot less gray hair when I started, but every hair has been earned with honor. Or every gray hair has been earned with honor. So the Rosie Network, really, we have 3 pillars of focus for us. So anything and everything that we do has to fit in at least one of these 3 pillars: empower, impact, and advocate. And we really do believe in doing it one entrepreneur at a time. So I'll jump into how we do that. But we believe in small, personal, trusted cohorts where you don't have to go through this journey alone. We're all about entrepreneurship. Next slide, please. I love this picture. Although, not everyone that goes through our program or even on our team are women, I do love this picture. This is actual Rosie the Riveters from World War II. And again, it's that whole "we can do it" as in the 40s during World War II. It's really how can we as a nation come together and support our military entrepreneurs. Next slide. Okay, so really our premier program is called Service to CEO. It's a military entrepreneur program. It typically runs for 16 weeks. We cover 8 modules. I'm going to go over those really quickly. But we have done abbreviated and expanded programs. So really the goal, especially for our caregivers, is to meet you at your time, what is convenient for you. And that we really strive hard to be able to do that and accommodate what works best for you. So if it's in the evening, in the morning, on the weekends, et cetera, we try to be as flexible as we can. And that's the great thing about being, basically a small but mighty organization. Next slide. Okay, so the really our program, it encompasses the Service to CEO curriculum. It's 8 modules. There's each module we try to cover for like 2 weeks. So there's pre and post work. We bring in absolutely the best subject matter experts that we have developed over all of these years. And now that all of our classes are virtual due to COVID, you get to actually benefit from having like our best subject matter expert in San Diego, even if you're stationed overseas or you're on the East Coast, which is really worked and helped us expand our program. And we're now providing it in, I think we're up to 40 states and overseas, which is huge. So we're always looking for chapter leads and champions. So our champions really act as mentors, subject matter experts, et cetera. And then we have chapter leads that run each and every one of our cohorts. And then at the very end, you get to graduate. You get to do your pitch deck presentation. And if you don't know what a pitch deck is, no worries. We help you build it. We tell you what slides need to be in there. We help you design it. And really, a pitch deck is an absolutely invaluable tool, no matter what you're doing, right? You can actually use what you create to develop a website or post it on your social media. It is, and for those that are further along or have much bigger, grandiose plans for their business, it is a great deck that you can share with potential customers, investors, etc. Next slide. Okay, so what do we cover, right? And this applies. I've had folks that have been in business for a couple of years, and they say, well, I don't really need Entrepreneurship 101. And we make them go through it anyway. And inevitably, they always come back to us and say, I'm so glad you made me go through it, because oftentimes if you're like me, and I don't want to plan a bunch of stuff. I want to jump right into it. I mean, that's my personality, but you have to plan. You wouldn't take a family on a vacation, right, without a roadmap. So we help you build that roadmap, and we do it together as a team, as a family, as a tribe. So really, I'm going to go through what each of the modules are, try to do it quickly. Entrepreneurship 101, really, really beginning with your mission, vision, and we say elevator pitch, but really, how can you explain what you do in 30 seconds, right? When someone meets you at an event and I say, Precious, tell me about your business. How can she tell me and catch me and grab me in 30 seconds or less, right? And that really is your why, your mission, your vision, et cetera. So we really help you nail that down, because if you don't have that foundation, it's really, really hard to be successul. Pitch deck and business model canvas. So business model canvas is an abbreviated version of a business plan. So if you've ever looked at a business plan, Google business plan. It's like getting a PhD. I tell you, can be overwhelming, and you go, oh, forget it, I'm done. There's no way I can do all this. It's intimidating. So we break it down via what is known as the business model canvas. It's really easy. It illustrates it into certain categories, and we help walk you through each one of those categories. And that's what you use to build your pitch deck. So customer discovery and market assessment. Not everyone is your customer. Oh, go back. Sorry. I know I'm trying to talk fast, but I know not everybody is your customer. Okay. Not everyone is your customer. If you try to make everyone your customer, you're going to spin your wheels. You're going to spend a lot of time and a lot of money and not be effective. We help you walk through customer discovery and market assessment. What is your market? What segment of that market are you shooting for, right? What is your niche? What is your unique proposition? How do you make that, how do you differentiate yourself from everybody else out there that's doing the meat and cheese? And I can't say that French word. Sorry, Marianne, but anybody else that's in that space, how are you different? Legal concepts, entity formation. Should you be, as Precious, a single member LLC, C Corp, S Corp, all of that kind of stuff, HR issues, which you have to know when you start bringing in employees, contracts, intellectual property, et cetera, et cetera. We cover all of that in the legal concepts. Next slide. And believe me, we break it down into bite-sized pieces that everybody can understand. Financial mindset, accounting, right? A cash flow analysis, et cetera, things like that to help you, because if you don't know your money, you don't know your business. If you're not shooting to make money, then you have a hobby, which is absolutely 1000% fine if that's what you want to do. But if you want to, bring in revenue, you got to know how certain key things, like, right, Precious, not to have your business money in your personal bank account. Lesson one of first lesson, always separate them. So things like that. Exactly. So things like that we cover. And then sales and there are certain things you need to open up a business bank account, an EIN. We cover all things like that. So sales, branding, and social media. This is usually everybody's favorite, because we all think, oh, I've got the greatest widget, the greatest idea in the world. All I need is help learning how to market it. Well, there's a reason we put this step after customer discovery, right? And your market, because how are you going to know what social media platform is best for your business? We walk you through all of that. We have some awesome, amazing marketing experts who will tell you how to save money, how to save time, how to figure out where your customers are, and then how to get free PR. You talk about marketing, how to get free PR. Right? Federal procurement. This is a brand new one, which I'm really excited about. Federal procurement and supplier diversity. Are you the type of business? Are you, starting a business or have a business that you may want to consider entering into federal procurement and supplier diversity? What is that? So that's a module that we recently developed, which we're really excited about because we get asked about this a lot. And then leadership, cultural competence, and team building. This is really important. I mean, I've certainly learned a lot. I continue to learn, continue to take, get coaching and resources, how to be a good leader, how to empower your team, not micromanage them, how to hold your team accountable. How can they hold you accountable? What are your strengths? I mean, I know what my strengths are. I know what my weaknesses are. So accounting, finance, those are keeping track of my calendar, organizing my day, my time. Those are my weaknesses. So I bring people in to fill out the team that offset my weaknesses. That is, I will wrap up that last module by saying, and I think Precious would agree with me, your team is your strongest asset, and it can also be your biggest liability. So learning how to build the right team, and it doesn't mean employees always, right? It means mentors. Yeah. It means coaches. It means, folks that you can turn to get an honest opinion. So a team encompasses much bigger than just what we typically think employee. Next slide, right, Precious? I mean, building a strong team is critical.
It's very critical. Absolutely.
Yeah. Having a mentor, somebody you can turn to and go, this is what I have, this opportunity, Precious. What do you think? Is it a good opportunity? And you are able to look at it from an outside perspective and give your honest feedback.
And also too, with strengths and weaknesses, sometimes, we don't have all the answers, nor, and like you said earlier, your strengths, your weaknesses, right? So bringing those in to work with you where they may be stronger in something than you are, it's just a benefit, advantage.
Yeah. And when we start out, when it's just a concept in our mind, it's a passion. We've been chewing it over for a long time. I always say two things. You have to define what success means for you. Is this just a side gig that you can bring in enough money, have fun with it, whatever it is, bring in enough money to go on a family vacation or pay for whatever it is you want. If that's what success means to you, and it's not becoming this big national brand or doing business with the government or Walmart or whatever, that's perfectly fine. Don't let other people define what success means for you, because you'll be miserable. You'll be miserable. So if it's just that idea and you're in concept and you really, you want to figure out how would I actually roll this out, Service to CEO is for you. If you have an existing business and you want to take it to the next scale, or as I call it, go pro, then that's something, the Service to CEO is for you. And I guarantee you will walk away having made friends and connections and potentially even collaborations that would otherwise be very difficult, because these are like-minded individuals with similar struggles and opportunities, and why not do it together as friends and family and a tribe. When you graduate, we don't let you go. You're ours forever. No, I'm kidding. You can be ours forever. You can join our national alumni community. That's for everybody that's gone through our social media. I mean, our program. We do have a Facebook group. We do, it's private. We share resources with our alumni. I love to go in and jump into our alumni discussions. We dive deeper into some of the bigger issues that, growing businesses face, et cetera. And it's really, suddenly your network goes from whoever is in that small circle to boom, hundreds of entrepreneurs who've been through the program, who are veterans or military spouses all across the country, right? So imagine that when we talk about the power of networking. Mentoring, 90% of businesses that didn't have a mentor within the first 3 years fail. I cannot stress it enough. It's why you are required to have at least 3 one-hour sessions with a mentor in our program. We partnered with Veterati. There's a Veterati group, especially for the Rosie Network. So these are just mentors that know that you're an entrepreneur. If you don't find one that you like in Veterati, we'll work with you to find a good mentor, but it's critical that, you have a mentor to help you on the process.
And Stephanie, I want to make a point about that, because I remember going through the Rosie Network's program and talking with the variety mentors, and it makes such a huge difference in helping to grasp an understanding of where you want to go. The mentors are amazing in that network, and so that's a huge piece to the program.
If you want the odds to be in your favor, having at least those 3 hours, those three, mandatory, they're required, and you just heard from Precious. We get very great feedback from the mentors that are on the Veterati platform. But again, you can't connect with one there, or you want some additional, kind of feedback and help, I mean, that's what we're here for. But you need to have a mentor. And that's very different than a coach. A coach is somebody typically that you pay and that you sign a contract with to provide services over a period of time. And if you are ready for a coach, it is probably one of the greatest investments that you can make in your business, period, hands down. A mentor is typically a volunteer. It doesn't have to be a long-lasting relationship. It can be short, it can be just a mentor for one project so, just keep that in mind, but it's important. And you may find a mentor right within your cohort, and you mentor each other. Rosie's List, it's actually down for construction right now because we're rebuilding it as an e-commerce platform, but it's the largest search tool. Think Angie List, Craigslist, but with Rosie in the country, featuring verified military, family-owned, veteran, active duty spouse in the country. And it is free. So if your business is up and running, you can create an absolutely free profile. Next year, hopefully by the end of the first quarter, you will be able to include a shopping cart in your profile, so you can sell your product or sell discount coupons for your service right on Rosie's List, and it's not going to cost you anything.
Wow, that's huge, Stephanie. E-commerce, you can do that on the website. Wow, that's awesome.
I'm excited. It's a big undertaking, and it's going to take some time because we have so many people in the database. Anyhow, so next slide. Okay, here's some pretty faces of some of the amazing team members. The photo right above is of a veteran and his spouse at one of the showcase events that we do around the country. Next slide. I think we have our chapter leads on our next slide. Yeah. Oh, that's a bad picture of Chris McPhee. But yeah, these are our chapter leads. We actually have more than that now, but these are the folks that will walk you through the program. And actually, Kathy Murphy on the bottom runs our Elizabeth Dole alumni chapter. Yeah. So, and her background is in caregiving, and she's phenomenal. She has a heart of gold, super smart. She's phenomenal. So I think next slide. Here's the application. Don't worry about, writing it down. It is, you go to the rosienetwork.org and click on programs. Boom, you're there. The application is right there. We call it an application. There's no fee. All we do is we want to get as much information about you as we can. If you want to get into the program, we schedule a one-on-one phone call just so we can talk to you about it and kind of help explain to you what you can expect, learn what you'd like to get out of the program, things like that. Next slide. And I think it's the last. Oh, next slide. If you can just leave. Yep. So these are the other ways that you can stay connected with us. It's all social media and our website and email.
But I just want to say also, Stephanie, that I have had the opportunity to go through your program with the first pilot. You were just so gracious enough to actually offer the opportunity for some caregivers to go through the course together. And so we did that this past summer. And that's when I got a chance to experience Veterati. And that's when I got a chance to hear from all of the awesome SMEs and meet Kathy,
SMEs, I love that SME. Everybody's calling them SMEs. I'm like, what is a SME? Oh, it's a subject matter expert. Basically, they're our teachers. So,
and we've
coined a new word, a SME.
That's me, and they are absolutely phenomenal. I tell you what, you brought the most expert folks to come and talk to us about so many different issues, difference. And, like I mentioned at the top of the call, having an LLC since 2017 and knowing as much as I do from experience, still when I finally took the program this past summer, I learned so much more, right? Because your program is just rich.
Well, you know what? Well, thank you. That really means a lot because every SME that teaches, we keep the ones that we know have a special place in their heart for our military community. They want to see you succeed. Truly, it is that authentic giving of their expertise that matters, and I think it comes across. It comes across when they teach, and it's a hard thing to do, to build that kind of network. But I tell you, we've been very blessed and very fortunate, and they really they do good by us, and they do good by you, by our folks that go through the program. And by the way, we've had folks go through the program more than once. They come to us, they come to us and they go through the program and they're still not quite ready. It's, maybe a little overwhelming or whatever. They have a PCS and they'll reach back out and go, I went through it, but now I'm ready. Like, we are here to serve. So, it's about removing barriers, and that's okay with us.
Sure. Absolutely.
If anyone has any questions, or if it's that time, Marianne, you tell me. I saw somebody asked about our kids program.
Yes. So first off, thank you so much, Precious and Stephanie, for just sharing, this wonderful program and experience. I've learned so much in the process, and I myself am considering, applying to the program, maybe to sprout my charcuterie business. We'll see. Maybe
charcuterie.
Yeah, sure. It's the adult Lunchables, meat and cheese.
Yes, I love that. Are you kidding? I love that. I love that idea.
In Southern California, and you and I are both in San Diego, so that we go big. And one day hopefully I can just be a Chrissy Teigen or another Food Network star, and maybe I can have charcuterie boards as well. So we'll see about that. Maybe that's a future thing. But yes, with that,
Marianne, I just have to say, Marianne, that I have no doubt that there are mentors on Betterati's platform that would help you to reach that point. That, along with all the information that you find and learn going through the Rosie Network's program.
And I love that, by the way. I truly do believe in the power of mentorship, and I know that when we help each other, when we can address those challenges together, we're far more stronger and successful together. So I love that, especially, and I saw your leadership is all women based, and so that's extremely powerful to see, is powerful women entrepreneurs as well. So that's amazing.
Well, thank you. It's building a strong team. I mean, look, none of this would happen. Let's be real. None of this would have happened without this team, the team who does a lot of the hard work. It's, I'm not going to say it's easy to start an organization or a company, but to grow it and maintain it, that's, finding those right people to join you along and go that journey alongside you is absolutely critical. And, here's really quick, and I hope I'm not going over. If I am, just tell me. Remember, being able, especially as a caregiver, being able to set your own hours is important, right? So days you're having a bad day, or the person that you're caring for is having a bad day, or doctor's appointments or whatever, that is different than having a regular job or even a remote job where you are expected to tune in and perform at a certain level, even though inside you may be struggling. So that again is defining what success means for you and doing it on your time, at your speed, and what works for you, because you are the only one at the
That's
end of
right.
these. So be empowered. You don't have to go through it alone. So join the love. Join the love. That's what we're here for.
I love that. And then as caregivers, that is just so, powerful for us, because our community believes in mentorship, and,
Yeah.
HHCC and the EDF fellows, we're back and forth providing advice and strength. And this is just a continuation of it on the entrepreneurial side. So that's
Absolutely.
amazing.
Yeah.
With that, I do have a couple of questions. I see one in the chat right now, and, we'll address this one. So
Yeah.
with the program in mind and how exciting this is, what are the dates for the upcoming cohorts?
Okay, so going to my weakness, dates being organized, I can't tell you, but I can tell you where you can find out, because they start all throughout the year. So we have multiple cohorts going at the same time. And we tried to start them fall through the winter and then start again. And we try to leave the summer when a lot of families are PCSing or retiring. We try to, recognize that it's kind of hard to go through anything during that time. But if you go on our website, and I know the link was included, you can click on programs, or you'll see the, picture with service to CEO. Just click on that and it'll tell you all the dates. It'll tell you the time zones, and again, some of them are on the weekends based on those that only have that time. We're flexible. So we'll match you with one that meets your needs where you are.
That's great.
Long-winded answer, sorry.
Oh, and we'll have that link dropped in the chat later. So stay tuned for that for it. So we'll go off to our next question. So I'm certain COVID-19 has transformed entrepreneurship in various ways, since many operations have had to move more online. This is great for caregivers since they can work from home, but it can be hard to research, the market, the branding, as well as the customer profile. What have your observations been, and do you have any valuable tips to take into account when building an online business?
Yeah, well, a couple of things really quick. One is, if you start with who your customers are they shopping at, where do they shop? Are what I mean? Are they Nordstrom? Are they Target? How old are they? Do they prefer to, do they shop online? What is their age group? Where are they located? Learning as much as you can about your customer and your market, that's critical. And you can do all of that online. You can get get a lot of that information, probably more than you can digest online, right? We provide you with some sites that are really great, navigators that help you kind of walk through that and ask the right questions. The other thing you can do is for customer discovery or feedback is hold a focus group. Reach out and some people say don't ask your friends to be on a focus group, because your friends are always going to tell you, oh, we love it. We love that color. They're always going to tell you what you want to hear. You don't want that. You want people to be honest. Again, not going to please everybody, but you can hold a focus group online, right? Get 5-6 people, ask friends to invite somebody that you can present your pitch deck, you can present your product, your service, go through your thing and get honest feedback. Then take that feedback and chew it over and decide, what works, what doesn't. That's something you can absolutely do now, even before you launch. The other thing is, I'll tell you what you should be investing in is a really good website.
Mm-hmm.
There are tools out there right now that are super inexpensive, and even someone like me, who growing up, we didn't have internet, we didn't have cell phones, we didn't have any of that kind of stuff. Okay, we were encyclopedias, library, that was my life. Today, it's a lot easier. You can actually go online and create a website yourself. Here's what you do. Go online in your field. Let's say you're a florist. Go online and find your 5 top favorite florists. right? Visit their websites, go through it, find out what you love about their websites, what you don't like about their website. What do they charge? How do they deliver? That's market analysis, right? Find out all that information, educate yourself, and then take that and say, okay, I like this. Okay, how am I going to do this differently? What makes me unique? Am I specializing in just roses? Is my niche market births or weddings? What is your niche market? All of that can be done online, but invest in a good website, because studies show that all of us, whether we're shopping in a store or online, are going to websites to check it out. And first and foremost should be your why. Why are you a florist? So if I'm shopping from 10 different florists and I see, whoa, one of them is a female veteran or a military spouse, right? Boom. Studies show that's who consumers prefer to purchase from. And then there's your story. You learned this from your grandmother. Your grandmother had or whatever your passion or your reason is, include that. It's about you. People can buy roses from thousands of different vendors. Make it about you. Make it about you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I was just going to share, there's so many different, like you said, resources out there and ways to build your websites. And depending on capital and what you may have to start with, you could start with, if you're working with a low budget or everything on your website, build a WordPress. There are very sophisticated templates that you can use and bring in on your WordPress site. That will be very inexpensive.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. And they're built so that you can do it yourself. You can do it yourself. When I say invest, I'm not always talking about money. Although I guarantee you there's probably a military spouse out there who'd be willing to step in and help, who's got experience for not a lot of dough, because it gives them experience, and it helps you out, and gives them a little bit of money. But most of them are set up where you can do it yourself. I mean, I created a website by myself, not Rosie's website, but I created it by myself, which is an extraordinary feat, because I have trouble opening up a PowerPoint. So if I can do it, trust me, you can create a website. But investing is design and the storytelling, what to include on your website. Do you include a newsletter? You want to capture people that go to your website? How are you going to do that? That's what I mean by invest time and find out what appeals to you. You don't have to be a graphic designer. Go online and find something that says to you, oh my God, I love that. Whether it's the font or the colors or the imagery. And, so.
Absolutely. And one more thing I would want to add too, something valuable to help in building an online business would be to network, possibly join professional organizations in your field that you want your business to be in, or just in general, like the small woman, if you're a woman, join the small business organization for women. They have that. That's available. There is a fee associated with it, but you're networking with more people. You have a lot of other opportunities online to connect with folks. And so that's also, or LinkedIn. LinkedIn has another platform that is new just for business owners. So, and whether or not there's a cost associated with that, not something I'd have to look into, but that is available as well. And that's new. So network. Network,
and you'll learn that, as you grow. I mean, that's free marketing. And remember, it's not, in fact, I was talking about this morning. The more you put out into the world and into the universe, the more you get back. So if you enter into one of these organizations, including Rosie, including our alumni or our program or whatever, if you're entering into it just for the purpose of getting something for your business, for yourself, it it's a lot harder. You get, the more you put out, you take it from me, you know, been around for coming up on 60 years, the more you put out into the universe, the more you get back. So, you know, make an effort to help other people, because people are going to help you. It is that.
Absolutely.
It's,
Oh,
it's true.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that.
And
Yeah,
we
no,
need each other. We need each other in this world. So we really do. And yeah, any other,
mhm.
because I could talk about this all day long.
No, it's
So
great.
any other questions?
I just want to add too, you know, everything you're saying resonates with so many of us, including me. I'm taking notes as you're talking as well, just, you know, quotes, especially taking from both of you. I want to say, you know, one should not depend on Facebook or Instagram, as we've learned in the past few days on Monday, because I've seen that with a lot of Instagram businesses, they weren't able to have their own operations because they shut down. So it's just a good piece. Keep that social media promotion, marketing.
Yeah, here's another thing about social media. And I tell this to my kids, and I know somebody's asking about the kid program. I promise I will share what it is, because I'm so in love with these kids. I cannot tell you, I want to adopt all of them. I have to, social media, if once you become a business owner and you're putting your product or your service out there, you're putting yourself out there. So remember that when you go to post and share stuff on social media. You can't take it back. You can't take it back. And it's really easy to get, you know, there are haters out there. So it's really easy to be discouraged or to go down that rabbit hole or be hurt by something that somebody says. Again, the only person you have to, you know, atone to is yourself at the end of the day. Okay. You love what you're doing. Don't let the naysayers or the, you know, turn you away from what you know your path is, your passion is. All right. Because you're going to get those no's. Try starting a nonprofit. Imagine how many no's you get. I got no. Oh, that's great. No. Okay. Thank you very much for, you know, your time. No, we're not going to support you. Get used to it. You know, you just kind of like gotta be like a duck. You let it roll off. But social media presence it is important, and it does play a role. It can't be your life. You'll never run your business if you're spending your whole life on social media. Be respectful and just be mindful about what you put out on social media. Always rise above is what I say. And again, that networking is an opportunity to, you know, people think, oh my gosh, if I just get 20,000 followers on Facebook or Instagram, my business will be a success. No, give me 10 customers and 10 followers over 20,000 followers and 0 customers. Which would you rather have? Right. So keeping that in mind.
And one more thing I'll add to that, Stephanie, is the social media module within your program, the SME you have for that was absolutely phenomenal. There was so much information, much more information that, you know, like I said earlier, your program is rich. Because this woman,
but it's free. It's rich, but it's free.
Right. Free and rich. I mean, how can you get any better than that? No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I know. And we give you a workbook. We've developed this amazing workbook where you can jot down notes and do, you know, and has like links. It's digital. It has links to videos and information and, you know, the homework and I'm beyond impressed with everybody on the team that has helped. And we build this program. It constantly evolves. In fact, you know, as you saw, we just integrated a brand new module. It evolves because we listen. Everybody that goes through, we encourage you to tell us, what did you like? What didn't you like? What can we do differently? What are we missing? That kind of thing. Because we're building it and implementing it, but you're the one that goes through it. So we're always listening. Okay, kids program this summer. This summer we launched the Mill Kid Entrepreneur Program. And it was basically it was online, and it was basically a modified version of Service to CEO, but for kids. We have age limits. I know you're going to ask me what they are, but I don't remember. So these aren't like, second, third, or fourth graders. These are, a little bit older kids. You can find out all about it on our website, but it covers a lot of the exact same modules. And I mean, I got to tell you, we had several kids who made sales, who launched businesses in the program and actually started bringing in revenue. So the big story on it, pushing to get, some media coverage about it, because our kids serve too. Our kids serve too. I think of how many high schools my oldest went to. I think it was 6 different high schools. They serve too. And, so it was awesome. We're doing it again. It's coming back by demand. And I love it. I mean, this country is built and run by small business owners. Our economy needs small business owners. We need you. We create more jobs. And so, if we can catch them young and plant that entrepreneurial seed, be your own boss, I'm in it. So yes, we're doing it again. We try to do it around the kids' school schedules because we know kids have homework during the school year. So whether we do one or do kind of like an introduction during spring break, but we're going to run them during the summer. So we did the pilot program this past summer. We'll probably do 2 over the summer. So I'm excited.
That's amazing. And I want to say, as a military kid myself, and we have for the Elizabeth Dole Foundation, we have our hidden helpers, otherwise known as military caregiver children themselves.
Yeah.
This is a great opportunity for them to, be involved in starting their own business and starting them young, meaning to be
and it's fun because they connect with each other and develop even more, with military kids. Because sometimes if you're in a public school, you feel like you're the only one, but anyway, it was fantastic. I think every single one on the team, we laughed, we cried, we celebrated. It was awesome. So yeah, we're doing it again. We're doing it again.
These are passion projects, that need to come into fruition. So that's
do something that you love.
Yeah. And then with that, I want to ask a follow-up question to that. As folks are asking on Facebook, do these courses cost anything?
No, the only thing you got to bring is an open mind and a willingness to learn and grow and collaborate. That's it. It's free. We built it. I built it that way. That was one of the, if I'm doing this, it's going to be free. So having been a military spouse for more than 2 decades, I know, sometimes it literally boils down to having, 2 nickels to rub together. For me, it was the onus is on us as an organization to bring in the funding needed to provide the absolute best program we possibly can and give it to you for free. So no, it's free.
That's amazing. And then I have one more last question for you, because I know we're coming up on time, but I'm going to combine these 2 questions together from Facebook. And so a caregiver who's full-time, in addition to one who lives in a small community, is asking how they can start their own businesses because they feel discouraged given those barriers. So what advice would you give them, either Stephanie and Precious?
Someone who's full-time, what do you mean?
A full-time caregiver. So they live, at home, and they're caring for their loved one, wounded warrior.
I see.
And then one is part-time.
In a small community.
In a small community. Got it. Small communities are awesome. They're amazing. I'm sorry, Precious, if you jump in at
I was just curious to know if they have I'll just go on and give that recommendation that I would recommend jumping in and connecting with Rosie Network, get an understanding, because if you connect with that program, start there. And when you start there, you will be able to explore the why you want to do what you do. You can explore what you want to do. Like Rosie mentioned, and like I saw, you can start the Rosie Network program at any stage.
Yeah.
If you want to start at the incubation stage where you're just thinking about the idea, start there. And when you start there, you're surrounding yourself also with other people with like minds who can actually also help. One thing I liked about the Rosie Network program is that there are coffee chats in between modules, so that you have an opportunity to actually connect on a more personal level and an informal level with others who are going through the program, where you can talk, you can chat, you can share ideas, get feedback from other people. And as you're growing together, that'll really help you to refine your ideas, refine what it is that you want. So I would again say, just get started, start, join the program and just get started.
There is no such thing as the perfect time for anything. I always got that, well, when my kids graduate from school, I'll do something then. There's you just got to jump off that cliff and build the airplane or the glider or whatever it is you're building on the way down. That's how I operate. Sometimes it works out great, sometimes not so much. But I will tell you, don't wait until you have just enough money or the perfect time or so-and-so has done this or done that. Because what you'll find is time has passed and you're still sitting there going, oh, I really wanted to do that, but I didn't. So you got, one life as far as we know, and you're the only one that can live it. I'll tell you, if you're sitting there and you're wondering, okay, I'm a full-time caregiver or I live in a remote area. So a lot of things aren't, it's hard for me to access a lot of things. One thing you can do, and I talked about putting together a focus group, and one thing that we found, one of the most powerful things that coming out of our program was friendships. Like you said, Precious, people with like-minded people, and you can connect with somebody, whether it's in the alumni group or in your cohort, that is thousands and thousands of miles away, but there's something about them that you're like drawn to each other, and you're so compatible. And the next thing you know, you guys are, building something together. So ask yourself what you enjoy doing. What do you enjoy doing? Do you enjoy writing, reading, knitting, needlepoint, painting, horses, whatever it is? And then find if there's some field you can start small. If there's some field, some way that you can be involved in that, being self-employed as an entrepreneur, right? So if you love horses, I loved horses, couldn't afford one growing up. You know what I did? I went and found and met people that owned horses. And I said, I'll exercise your horses for free. I'll exercise them for free. People like, what? You'll come and shovel the manure and exercise my horses for free? Hell yeah, you're on, And so you see what I mean? You have to think creatively, think outside the box. There's all kinds of things you can do right from your kitchen table. Look at our Riveter, who won 2 military spouses who went on to win a big deal at Shark Tank. They started while their kids were napping on their dining room table. Just let that little sit and think, what makes me happy? What is it that makes me happy? And build from there.
And one more thing I'll also add, to the caregiver who's concerned, because she's a full-time caregiver, Rosie, Rosie Network, the Rosie Networks program, all the modules are recorded, right?
Yes.
If you're on a caregiver schedule with heavy demands and you are finding it a challenge to find time to actually sit down and work on your business, if you just take the recordings and then again in between those modules, you have the opportunity to connect. And just so, take those recordings and, get started.
And you have the digital workbook. You can fill it out and go, as you go, and join a class when you can. Join one of the coffees when you can. You're not alone. There are tons of people out there that are, in a similar boat. There's no reason to row upstream by yourself, right? Get a paddle buddy. Ooh, I like the way I just built in a Navy reference into that comment. So yay me.
Well, that is time for Q&A. Dr. Precious Goodson and, Stephanie, CEO and founder of the Rosie Network, thank you so much for your time and educating us, from your experiences to different lessons to this amazing, program. And I really hope folks, took from this. I know so many, I see your chat, so many folks did. And so, this is amazing. And we'll drop your links and your
Okay.
resources in the
Somebody
chat.
says they were on the
Um,
website, but they didn't see info under programs. Click on service to CEO. Service to CEO programs. Click on the drop down that says service to CEO. Sorry, I hope you're still there, Nancy.
yes,
Um,
she's still here. Well, that's
okay,
great.
good.
Well, again, thank you so much. And now I will go ahead and announce our prize winners. So congratulations to our giveaway winners. Please email us directly at events@elizabethdolefoundation.org with a good mailing address, and we will get those special prizes to you. And so our winners for today are April Mulvey, Nancy Coles, Grace Goret Mohammed, I hope I'm saying that right, and then Krista Peterson, hope I'm saying that one right as well.
Yeah.
Yes, congratulations. And now, Precious and Stephanie, is there anything you want to cover before we wrap up? Any last words?
No, if you have any questions, you can reach out. I'm going to put the email here. Follow us on Facebook. We announce a lot of stuff that we're doing. We host a monthly thing called Rosie Talks with yours truly, which I love because it gives me a chance to communicate and touch base with all you amazing people out there. But yeah, please reach out, and we're here. Don't go alone. Be brave, be fearless. You can do it.
That's right.
I love that.
You can do
And
it.
Dr. Gibson, do you have anything?
Yes, I would just also say that I know of caregivers who have already completed the Rosie Network program, and now there are alumni. They went through the program as caregivers, but with either incubator business ideas, or some of them had full-fledged out, already started their businesses, but they successfully completed it. And so my, through the Elizabeth Dole Foundation Fellows, we had an opportunity to pilot and join, and now we're partners with the Rosie Network, and we are offering that. So I'm so excited to be able to do it now. But I want to just encourage you, all caregivers, to just get started, because you can do it.
Yay, thank you. You can do it. We can do it. And absolutely, I'm sorry, this is the second last thing, because I just want to say off what Precious mentioned. I thought it was really powerful to have caregivers come together and go through a cohort together. I really did. I thought that was super powerful. And I know we're going to do it again. So if you would like to be a part of the Elizabeth Dole Foundation alumni cohort, I think we'll be announcing when we're going to kick that off, hopefully soon, right, Precious? I'll leave that to you, but we are, when we're ready to announce that, we'll announce it. If you'd like to be a part of that caregiver cohort, we'll hope you'll join that.
Yes, and so to all of our, viewers, thank you so much for your time. Please, check out this amazing resource, the Rosie Network, and also check out, this whole program, because it's an amazing program. Now, if you are not already registered with HHCC, we encourage you to join our Facebook group for updates. Our group is an inclusive community for military and veteran caregivers of all service eras. So if you care for a wounded, ill, or injured service member or veteran, we would love to welcome you into our community. Visit hiddenheroes.org/register to get started. Also, be on a lookout for a follow-up email from us that will include the recording of today's meeting, as well as the Rosie Network's resources and organization info, and the link to register with Hidden Heroes. Please also don't forget to register for our next C3 episode next week, Maintaining Balance Online Yoga for Caregivers, on October 12th at 1 p.m. Eastern. To register, visit hiddenheroes.org/C3. We want to give a huge thank you to everyone today, Dr. Precious Goodson, Stephanie Brown, and just everyone who's viewed, who will view, for joining us today. And big thanks to our partners at Wounded Warrior Project and the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs for supporting our C3 series. We hope you enjoyed We hope you enjoyed today's C3, and then please stay in touch and have a wonderful day.
Hey, bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.